Welcome to Evolution in Controls. I'm your host, Tim Wilson. Thank you for joining us. We're a special episode of Evolution in Controls today. We're here at Marel's headquarters in Auburn Hills, Michigan, at Marel's Automate the Future event. We're talking with customers, we're talking with vendors, we're talking about automation, we're talking about the future, and what the impacts are. I'm joined today by guest Brendan and Andreas. He is the sales manager for Leantechnik here in the United States. Brendan, thank you for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thanks, Tim.
Let's start first with, tell me a little bit about Leantechnik.
Yeah, so Leantechnik is a German manufacturer of an integrated all-in-one rack and pinion gear drive product. We've been manufacturing for about 30 years now. We'll be celebrating our 30th anniversary here very soon. We actually got our very early start in the mining industry in a very early conceptual form of the product, but very quickly that transitioned into the automotive industry. So that has been our strongest point of sale and supporting that market for a long time in Germany. And over the course of the last few years, been fortunate enough to expand that market internationally and now into the US. And so my role with the company now is supporting that market expansion and development for the US and North America.
Well, for the listeners that may not be familiar with your product line, how would you describe the products that you guys sell?
Yeah, absolutely. Leantechnik manufactures a very strong, robust, powerful, compact product integrating rack and pinion motion technology with an integrated linear guidance system, all in very one sleek, compact product to allow customers for that linear actuation and motion in a great package that just offers design engineers the capacity to design a product in very quickly and easily, very easily for ease of maintenance, ease of assembly, and ease of lubrication and maintaining the lifetime of the machine as well.
What makes so rack and pinion used to be just a gear rack and a pinion and a motor driving the pinion and something would move.
Sure.
Your product line is more than that, I'm guessing. What sets your product line apart?
Well, I think it's some of the things that I touched upon. We're not reinventing the wheel per se, but we're really taking away a lot of the headache of having to combine different components into one system, having to spec a rack and pinion, having to size that along with a linear guide, going to mount those into your machine, having to account for all of your tolerances, your machine surfaces, aligning all of those together to ensure that your motion is smooth without any binding or anything like that. Really what you've got is the rack or rail, one integrated rail system, and the rack, tooth rack all in one, and then a single drive block incorporating both the guide and the pinion. So you really essentially have two components, and you utilize a combination of your gearbox and motor that, of course, you would support a customer with, and you've got an actuator.
Is it a little bit like Lego systems where you take multiple components and you piece them together? Is that
Absolutely.
What you're saying?
I think one of the things that we pride ourselves upon and really like to stress with our customers is the modularity of the product, the ability to mix and match different models, sizes, the synchronization of systems and moving together, four-post lifting stations, ability to drive with a single motor, multiple axes. A lot of the uniqueness in the modularity and just combining different components and sizes and series across one system.
Well, we're here at Marel's event, Automate the Future, and it's based around the Automate 2022 show here in Detroit.
Definitely.
Let's talk a little bit about technology and the future. How do you see automation affecting or impacting or guiding your product lines?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something, I touched upon the fact that Leantechnik comes from a very early history within the mining industry.
Right.
And at that point, it was a very early iteration of the design. You can imagine a simple lifting mechanism moving material from point A to point B. Obviously, the history that Germany has and their quality of automotive manufacturing and the great history of quality that they have, the ability to adapt that product, to innovate it, to improve the quality, to improve the manufacturing processes, to allow it to support that industry in a very demanding application. We're talking 24/7 duty cycles where a product needs to last, it has to be reliable. That's obviously something that we adapted to and grew with as the market's demanded it. I see that as something that Leantechnik can continue deducing just depending on where the demands that we see from our customers.
Do you find that customers are hard-pressed to understand how they take and apply and what your technology means to their machines? Is that a hard sell?
It really isn't. One of my favorite things, I come from a mechanical engineering background. Before taking this role with Leantechnik, I spent almost a decade in application engineering. So having the opportunity to work with the motioneering group here at Morel has been phenomenal. They do a lot of the same type of work that I used to do.
We did an evolution in control episode with the motioneer group.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Excellent. So I speak with individuals like your motioneers, design engineers who are buying their product, who are actually designing them into machines. It's the engineers who really do get excited about our products. Not everyone is going to see it as something that's flashy and exciting right off the bat, but when you understand the utility of the product, the ease of utilization, and just the simplicity of designing that into your system, that really makes an engineer's life easy, a designer's life easy, and downstream for those who end up building the machine, who are maintaining and taking care of the machine for long life, they see those values as well.
What do you see the next 5 years holding for Leantechnik here in the United States?
Certainly. I think the biggest thing is just expanding the reach of the product, expanding visibility. We have a great foothold in Germany and throughout Europe, and I think the opportunity to partner with a group like Morel, who has the history and the reputation that Morel has, is a great opportunity for us to continue to promote, continue to get the product into the eyes and the hands of more individuals, and I just really see it taking off.
As you grow and expand, what industries, what markets do you see the product or see you focusing on? Or is there one or two markets that you're focusing on?
Yeah, definitely. Automotive, as I've mentioned countless times, has been the bread and butter for our company for many years, and I think it will continue to be a strong point for the Leantechnik products. But there's a lot of other opportunities supporting that. Of course, the electric vehicle market and battery manufacturing has become huge, and I think there will continue to be more companies that are going to enter that space and have the opportunity to utilize our products. A lot of companies like your Amazons, your Walmarts, and anyone else.
Fast-moving consumer goods.
Absolutely. Warehousing automation, the ability to couple our products with something like an AGV to very quickly access stacks or rows or shelves or anything like that. Horizontal transfers, robot transfer systems. Coupling even with all of the 6-axis robots and cobots that we're seeing on the market these days. Oftentimes you still need to move that robot from one location to another, which is a great application of the Leantechnik product.
Brendan, I really appreciate your time. Now, I think you've got a colleague here at the show someplace today. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. Our international sales manager, Andreas.
Well, what we'll do is we'll try to get 5 minutes with him on camera as well.
All right, fantastic.
See if we can track him down.
Sounds good.
Brendan, thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely.
I'm joined here today by Andreas Sprecher. He is the International Sales Manager for Leantechnik. Andreas, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation, Tim.
No problem. Tell me a little bit about Leantechnik.
Yeah, we are a mid-sized company in Germany. Next year we celebrate our 30th anniversary, and we are producer of rack and pinion gearbox systems, but as well we are producer of solutions, customer solutions. Our system is modular, and you can combine it as ever it's needed, and you can put them together, and we make horizontal portal systems.
So it's not just a rack and pinion with a rack and a pinion on it. It's more, you said a rack and pinion gearbox system.
Exactly, it's combined, and the uniqueness from our system is really that you have the rack and pinion system for the movement, but the rack is directly guided, and that is a big advantage because it's combined in one box. So you have a small footprint. We are able to move high forces with a high speed on a high accuracy.
Are you using linear rail or linear bearing systems to guide it as well?
Yeah, it's our own system that we have designed, and it's a bearing system. We have two different types of gearbox, one with the round shaped rack and plastic bushings, very simpler version from the Livco, and the other one is really with roller bearings that guide the rack.
Now you said it's modular. What do you mean? Do you assemble the pieces together, or you said you're a solutions provider?
Modular means more or less that you can combine different gearboxes together, and you can make 3-axis systems, for example, gantry systems that you have. If you just see the block, it's one part of a potential system, but you can combine it together, and then you have, for example, shafts and couplings to combine them. You can use profile shafts to put them together. So,
does that keep them synchronized then?
Yeah, exactly.
So I have one motor driving 3 or 4 gear rack.
Of 4 corners, and
Yeah.
then you have the synchron movement and lift, and really the advantage is that you can position very precise.
Okay. What's the basis or the core of the technology? Did it develop organically, or did you take one product and then build it?
We did it, or the founder of the company, Mr. Janssen, he worked at the company that came from the minery in Germany many years ago.
The mining
a very simple lifting system.
Yeah.
And then in Germany, the mining went into bankrupt and crashed down. And then he overtook the patents, and he had some more ideas in his mind, and he developed the next steps and updated the design of the system and did it by himself in his garage, classically. And from there we had a continuous growing and technical development in different stages.
So you took a simple idea and was able to expand on it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he did.
Okay. Well, that's fascinating. Sold worldwide. You're the international sales manager.
Yeah, I'm part of a team of 2. We are now with 2 international sales managers.
Okay.
And we came, as I said in the beginning, from the minery, but actually also in the very early history of the company, we work together with car manufacturers. So also from today, 60% of our business is car production. So we work very close together with all of these car producers, and develop also with them together systems specialized for them.
As you look around the world at the different markets, what markets do you think are especially interesting beside automotive?
Of course, automotive is bread and butter and where we came from, but I think there's a lot of potential in warehouse optimization, material handling. This is, I think, a big trend in the market, that everyone is going to automate warehouses.
Okay. We're at the Automate the Future. We're here at the Automate trade show here in Detroit. The topic is technology, or the advancement of technology, and what the future looks like. I'd be interested to hear, and I think our listeners would as well, what do you see the impact of technology on your product lines or on the industry in general?
I think really very smooth processes in each field. So for example, if you see the warehouse optimization, that you really got more and more output, faster processes, and really intelligent processes.
You said faster and faster. I know in fast-moving consumer goods, the emphasis is on doing whatever they do faster, more precisely. How does that fit with your product line?
Yeah, because our system is able to really move very fast, and we can handle these processes in our systems.
Are loads, if the loads get heavier, is loading a problem? Are you limited?
We are limited, but as every system is limited.
Every system is limited.
But I think the combination is very good and unique, that you have the heavy loads that can move very precise and fast. And this combination, that we really make movement and guiding in one system, is a big advantage.
One of the questions that I like to talk with customers or vendors about for our audience is the future. Looking down the road, 5 years down the road, what does the future look like? What do you see it, whether it's for your product line or technology or market share? What does the future look like 5 years down the road?
I think that more and more processes get optimized.
Okay.
This is really what we see and what we did the last 29 years, really process optimization. And also what we are going to do is we work very close together with you guys from Morel, with the Motioneer team. We work very close together with the customers to understand the customer requirements and to fulfill that at the end. So really, first challenge is to understand the problems, and then we see us to solve these problems.
Do you see your product line continuing to evolve over the next 5 years?
Yeah, we are continually working also internally on processes. So we are going to get all core processes in-house to be maximum flexible in front of the customer. And we are also developing new products and systems, and these things we are developing together with the customers.
Well, when you get a new product, I'd love for you to bring it here and talk to our listeners about it.
Definitely will do that.
You know, Andreas, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you very much for joining us.
It was a pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Tim Wilson, your host, and remember, keep moving.